Avowed is mediocre garbage. Look, I know the title of the video is harsh, but it's the truth. Avowed is mediocre by the standard of AAA games we have today, and that's fine. Mediocre is fine, but this mediocrity bleeds into a bigger issue, and that bigger issue is the overall lack of quality in games today. Quick FYI, there's nothing wrong with female leads in video games or people of color in video games. But you have to have seen a trend though. DEI being forced into games and ruining them. Mediocre games that pale in comparison to games decades older than them. And developers going on unhinged rants about their political views and players being thoroughly annoyed by it. Now, in saying this, I'm not saying that the players are exempt from any sort of blame. We as players nowadays tend to be a bit hyper aggressive and antagonistic of games that are more inclusive. But to be honest, you should be able to see where we're coming from. Our reactions may every so often be a bit dramatic, but we live in an era where you get what you want by complaining about it. And we are valid for being worried and on edge when we see inclusive characters in our games nowadays. Think about it. If you throw a kitten onto the freeway and leave it there for a day, if it survives, it will hiss at anyone that tries to pet it or feed it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I won't buy your games anymore. Now, given the analogy I just made, you might think I'm trying to say that almost all of the outrage about DEI and stuff like that is a bit overblown and unnecessary, but that isn't what I'm saying, not at all. A lot of people on the outside, or people who don't really engage with the games media, think that all of the outrage surrounding DEI and woke things in games is fabricated. And it's all a bunch of misogynists and basement dwellers that are complaining about this stuff. And while I won't deny that there are a handful of those people among us, I will say that the vast majority of us are just people who have foresight for what video games will become if we allow this stuff to go unchecked. A lot of us are just frustrated with the ugly characters that we're forced to see in our video games. Me personally, I've been a Spider-Man fan since I was in diapers. But Spider-Man 2's MJ is the first MJ that wasn't remotely attractive, rather completely ugly. It was the ugliest video game character I've ever seen. And she's canonically a supermodel. And yes, there are real women that look like this in real life, but this isn't real life. Why do I play video game characters to escape real life and then get confronted with the same bullshit I'm trying to avoid? And yes, a lot of people play video games to escape real life. If you feel this is childish or stupid, good for you. I'm sure you live a very happy and fulfilling life. But I'm afraid to tell you that most people are just not living fulfilling lives. And see, games are an outlet for a lot of us to escape the shitty existences we live. Asmongold said something that really resonated with me. He said young men like video games because they see video games as an avenue to compete with other people and their peers on an even playing field, or something along the lines of that. Granted, there's no scummy monetization tactics. Looking at you, Blizzard.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
But yeah, what he's saying is true. If I'm playing a multiplayer game that is online and doesn't have any scummy monetization tactics, I am on an even playing field with you. It doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if I'm younger than you, it doesn't matter whether you're a girl, it doesn't matter who you are. We are on an even playing field. And if I win, it's because of my own merit and my own skill, not because of where this unforgiving world placed me. Well, granted, ping is a thing, but you get my point. Anyway, I hope I made a good argument for why the anti-woke crowd might be a bit extreme or validated. Let me know what you guys think though. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.